What's up, guys? So, time to continue along with my CD collection. So, gonna continue on with my Foo Fighters. So, this is probably their most popular album, The Color and the Shape. It's got a lot of their really popular songs like Monkey Wrench, Everlong. Those are the main songs. My Heroes, another really popular one. I will say, to me, it's a little bit more of a collection of songs feel than an album. I feel like I'm a little crooked, so I'm going to shift it over just a tad. But yeah, but I mean, it's got some solid songs on it, but I always say I kind of like to have a nice flow on my albums. And this is the version that has a bunch of bonus tracks. It's mostly covers. There's a couple new songs on here, though. The Color and the Shape, like the title track that didn't get released on the main albums, pretty solid. So yeah, we'll take a look at it. Always have trouble remembering if I show the back of it or not, but so I usually end up showing it multiple times. But yeah, in a lot of people's minds, this is technically the first Foo Fighters album, because the first album released under the Foo Fighters names was actually more of a Dave Grohl solo record. This is the first album released where it was actually the whole band contributing. Sometimes it's hard to tell if I'm flipping multiple pages at the same time or not. Next, this is another really popular album of theirs. There's Nothing Left to Lose. It has songs like Stacked Actors, Breakout, Learn to Fly, Generator. It's a little bit more heavier on the ballad side of it than their sound. It's a pretty solid, heartfelt album. Oh shit, the disc just fell out and it's falling down the floor. 1 second. Alright, I'm back. But yeah. There's the inside. Just look at the back. And we have what in a lot of people's mind is their worst album, One by One. I mean, I kind of feel like it's funny how, like, there's very specific opinion on this album that a lot of people seem to share. That opinion is that about the first half of it or so contains some really strong singles, some of their best singles actually, and the rest of the album is just like really weak filler tracks. I mean, I think it's kind of funny how just about everybody, including the band, I think, seems to agree on that notion. Thank you list behind the disc. Yeah, I know this is a particularly frustrating album for the band. I know they came close to breaking up during this time, and I know that it got recorded multiple times, and they were never really satisfied with it. I do rather like all the art and photography for this album, though. But yeah, some noteworthy songs on here is like All My Life, Low, Times Like These. Halo's a pretty decent song too, I think. This is probably my personal favorite Foo Fighters album. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but In Your Honor. I think a lot of people don't really like that this is a double album, but I feel like, you can approach the two halves independently, and it still works pretty well. I think it works better, treating it as two albums than one as, one full-length album that you have to listen to one after the other. But yeah, I feel like the first half of it just kind of really sets the standard for their sound. And then the second disc of it, it's kind of more mellow what I call semi-acoustic, because it does have a generous amount of, mostly like clean electric guitars, but it's a mellow album. I do really enjoy both halves of it. So this one has a lot of broken teeth, so got to be kind of careful with the disc, but here's the first disc. And here's the second disc, two halves of the Buffalo. Got a little logo behind it. Booklet. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the art, and I don't know. I've just always kind of hated this photo of the band. This kind of gives it sort of like a, I don't know, shit rock Nickelback look to them. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of that photo or the cover of it. But all that aside, I mean, it's a solid album nonetheless. Then accompanying this album, I'd like to say this was a Best Buy exclusive or something, some promotional freebie that you could get if you bought the album, but I'm not sure. But we have 5 songs and a cover, which, believe it or not, consists of 5 songs and a cover. But yeah, it's a live version of Best of You, a demo version of DOA, Skin and Bones, which is a pretty popular non-album track, demo of a otherwise unreleased song, World, I Feel Free, which cover was it by Queen? I feel like I'm gonna embarrass myself. Oh well, I can't remember who it was originally by. Does it say anywhere? No. Oh well. It's kind of something embarrassing. All songs written by Foo Fighters. I Feel Free. Okay, it wasn't written by Queen. I know they've done some Queen covers. I enjoy Queen. I don't have any of their albums, though. I don't really keep up. I'm rambling. I can't remember who wrote I Feel Free, though. But anyway, yeah. And closes out with FFL, stands for Fat Fucking Liar, which is a pretty cool song. Has a lot of screaming. I like it when Foo Fighters goes heavy. Yeah, there's the artwork. There's just a single sheet, so I'm not going to bother pulling it out. Alright, next we got Foo Fighters, Echo, Silence, Patience, and Grace. I kind of feel like this one's a bit of a mixed bag. It's got some pretty solid tracks on it, but I don't know, it's a little bit too all over the place for my taste. But yeah. It's kind of like how on In Your Honor, like how they split, two drastically different sounds. This kind of, combines and bounces back and forth between them a bit. Like I said, it's not necessarily the best album, but it's got some great songs. I also rather like the artwork for it, too. But yeah, it has songs like Pretender, Let It Die, Erase, Replace, Long Road to Ruin. Let's see. I've been kind of rather digging Ballad of the Beacon Miners lately. It's an instrumental song. Stranger Things Have Happened is kind of cool too, more of a acoustic jam. But yeah. And to close out this segment, we have one of their more recent albums that became particularly popular, Wasting Light. This is noteworthy for being the return of, what was his name? The original guitarist came back he wasn't replacing anybody. He just came back. They got 3 guitars. Then Pat Smear, who originally played in the Germs, and he was an additional live guitarist for Nirvana late in their career. This album was also recorded in a garage with no computers, all on tape. And I don't know if I showed you the inner gatefold in the back of it, but to celebrate that, to celebrate doing that, did have 2 pieces. One of them may have slipped back here, maybe. Yeah. To celebrate that, they actually cut up the master tape and put pieces inside of the first batch of the album. And here's the disc. You know, it contains songs like Bridge Burning, Rope, Walk. And yeah, it's a pretty solid album. Not necessarily my favorite, but it's a solid one. So yeah, I'm going to end it now. It's an all Foo Fighters video for today. And yeah, I still have more Foo Fighters, but I should be able to finish. Actually, I only have 1 Foo Fighters album left to show. I'm kind of tempted to show now, but I don't want to make this video run on any longer than I already have made it. So I'm going to go ahead and end it now. And yeah, I'll show you some more video or more CDs later.